Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cashback. Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of Season 5 here in the Career Mode RTG. It's time to end the Premier League season and end the season as a whole here in our debut Premier League season, and hopefully we can end in the top half. We do look very good for doing so. We're 4 points clear of Arsenal with 3 games to go, and Newcastle and Cardiff are further behind with less games to play. We are 6 points clear of Newcastle, and they can only gain 6 points from their games, and obviously their goal difference is very much not near ours. Ours is significantly better than theirs, although we would of course have to lose 3 games to run the risk of losing out on 11th place to Newcastle. So we're 9th currently. We look good for 9th. We stand a chance of finishing as high potentially as 6th. I am 5 points behind Wolves, but we play Wolves today in the second game. We've Southampton in the first game and then Spurs on the final day of the season. We could decide Southampton's fate. If we beat them and Crystal Palace win on match day 36, we will relegate Southampton. If on the final day the situation goes the way that it might, we could deny Spurs the title or help them win the... well, not help them, but inadvertently help them win the title if they beat me on the final day. So there's a lot to be played for today, not just for ourselves, but for our opponents too. I'm not sure, actually, if Wolves can chase a Europa League spot. Indeed, they can. And they're only 4 points off the Champions League. So there's so much on the line for everybody today. Us and all 3 of our opponents. So it's a massive episode. And I'm not sure what will win for prize money in 9th or 10th. But if we can get higher, then there's even more budget available for next season. We'll do a season roundup at the end of the episode as well once we've finished the Premier League. So we can start tomorrow with episode 1 of season 6 and concentrate on perhaps beating our league position this year. I do have a decent amount of money left at present, so I will be throwing that into wages. Basically, I'm going to renew as many players' contracts as I possibly can so that that money doesn't go to waste. I might improve on the scouts I've got too, although I'm not looking like I'm going to... or I'm thinking of not really looking too hard at any further talent at this stage, because we've a great team and a number of great youngsters. I'd rather just slow down on the youth for the time being and concentrate on the starting 11. But that's for the end of the episode and season 6 episode 1. For now though, it's time to go and play Southampton. We might relegate them, so there's a lot on the line for everyone today. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. And hopefully we can maximise our potential league finish. Southampton's starting lineup. Alex McCarthy in goal. Schürpf, Camara, Vestergaard, Herrera and McQueen at the back. 2 in midfield, El Yunusi and Sabitzer. And then the 3 up top are Josh Sims, Modou Barrow and Sofiane Boufal. They did beat us last time we played them, Southampton, so they're not to be underestimated. Hill through the gap nicely to Suarez Garcia. There's Sabi. It's Oscar Hill that's kept the run going. And we'll lay that to Suarez Garcia, whose shot is skewed wide thanks to good pressure from the defence. Thought we might have picked them apart there. Can Gertrude win that header? He can, and he's won it well too. Suarez Garcia into Sabi. He'll go again. Suarez Garcia shot blocked again and will go out for a corner. Chance for something from a set piece perhaps. Not with a corner delivered that poorly, that's for sure. 15 minutes in, still 0-0. Nice ball inside there, looking for Hill. Across, finds Suarez Garcia. Tom Davies is waiting deep. Oscar Hill's there again. Suarez Garcia's made a good run out of his feet. Shot blocked. Can Sabi... he tried to stand tackle thin air rather than actually try and toe poke it home. Oh, that was terrible from Alex McCarthy. He surely could have gotten to that there, Sabi, if he'd committed to trying to shoot rather than tackle nothingness. And surely we should have been 1-0 up. As it happens, we're on the counter, or they're on the counter attack. We could have gone 1-0 down, but no. And space for Uno to run into. That 95 sprint speed will come in handy here. We'll stand it up into the middle, and it's a terrible cross. Penny. Oh, God, that touch. Oh, that's got me in trouble. Modou Barrow to El Yunusi. To Modou Barrow. He's a bit quick. He's got the man out wide. He's come back central. Sabitzer plays the 1-2. The 1-2-3. That's a good goal from Southampton. A really good goal from Southampton. They beat me 3-2, I believe, in the previous game against them at St Mary's, and he smacked that home from the edge of the box. A really good finish from Sabitzer. Southampton, fighting for their lives at the bottom of the Premier League, have a fighting chance of staying in the Premier League, but I'm not sure what Crystal Palace's result looks like, so it might be short-lived. Nice interception by Hill. Forward there to Suarez Garcia. Sabi's making moves. Rather unfortunately for Southampton, they've got Manchester City in their next game in the Premier League, so even if they do beat me here, they're almost certainly still going to get relegated, but they're doing their bit so far. As things stand, Southampton, whilst not being safe and still being in the bottom three, do still stand a chance of staying up. I'd hate to relegate them because obviously they were a side that we had a very, very popular, one of my most popular series with last year. But at the same time, this is the series that's going on right now with Cambridge. And of course, we want to finish as high as we possibly can in the Premier League to make us as strong as possible for next year to go for Europe. So I'm sorry, Southampton, much as I have an affiliation with you for the moment, I'm afraid I'm still desperate to beat you. Morris. Suarez Garcia. Is Elliot Lee off the bench. Looking for Sabi. Oh, it's a good turn. Sabi! There's the equaliser. Is Southampton's Premier League status falling away right in front of their eyes? Lovely footwork from Emmanuel Sabi. He's not completely out of the running for the top goal scorer, but it's still going to be a tough ask. But lovely little drag back. And then the finish is very, very good indeed. Ooh, Saints. You're walking a tightrope right now. One more from me, and you are definitely out of the Premier League next season and playing Championship football. Sherp inside to Mendes. 2 minutes added on at the end of the game. They need to score, Southampton. I'm pretty sure they need to score to stay in the Premier League. Modu Barrow around the corner to Josh Sims. They're desperate for a goal, and the shot comes in, but it's not good enough. And as we bowl the ball out, that should be and is the end of the game. Is that the end of Southampton's Premier League survival chances? A 1-1 draw. Crystal Palace win 2-1 against Manchester City. We've just relegated Southampton Football Club. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. We were able to survive with them on the very last day of Season 1 back on FIFA 18. But unfortunately for them, now... Oh, are they in with a chance? Goal difference is the same as Watford's. And there's 6 points between them. It's not quite over yet for Southampton. But it's all but over for them now. We didn't necessarily relegate them, but we've all but relegated them. It's just not yet mathematically confirmed. They have Manchester City in their next game as well. So it's not looking too good for them. But if Palace can beat City, Saints can as well. We've got Wolves next, so we'll head there now. Wolves' starting lineup: Rui Patricio in goal, 5 at the back. Doherty, Stevens, Cody, Bednarak and Vinagre. In the midfield, it's Gibbs-White, who we've previously been interested in, and Lopez. And then Adama, who we've previously been interested in, Rebic and Diogo Jota, who we've previously been interested in. We went for Ademola Lookman on the left for next season rather than Adama or Diogo Jota, but both of them would have been decent options. Diogo Jota is a very good player and scored a stunning goal against us in the Cup a couple of seasons ago. For now, though, we shall continue on in the Premier League and try and get ourselves a win in this one rather than the point that we got at Southampton. They still have 2 games in hand on us, Wolves, after this game. Actually, no, 1 game in hand on us, I think, after this game. This is our 37th and their 36th. So they can still pull away from us and ensure that we don't catch them. But if we beat them here, it really puts us back in the hunt for trying to close them down. Unfortunately, that pass won't find a teammate. And we'll continue on after 8 minutes at 0-0 for now. Catrola should win this and does so well. And oh, Hill couldn't get to that first. And Unai Lopez could have set up a counter-attack there with Adama Traore earlier and sent him completely free. Uno closes down but fouls the man in the process, so they'll take the advantage. Oscar Hill wins it back. So I made a very good point in the comment section of yesterday's episode saying that Oscar Hill is kind of like my very own Casemiro. He's just an absolute defensive rock, and I have to agree, whilst his rating isn't that good, he is such an enforcer in the midfield for me. What I may do is train his passing stats a little bit so that he can become more of an all-round player, and if we do that, then I really believe Oscar Hill can become one of the best central defensive midfielders in this entire save if we start training his passing. It should rocket his overall, I would like to think. Oh, it's really good football from Wolves, but it's a great save by Angus Gunn to ensure that we don't go 1-0 down. I was resigned to conceding there. That's a foul, but Rebic will pick it up and they'll continue on. Tom Davies in, back there to Diogo Jota, Adama around the corner to Unai Lopez. Back by Rebic to Cody. Oh, and they have scored now. Bednarak tucks it in the bottom corner. Wolves playing some really nice stuff here and deservedly in front. Rebic in towards the middle. Jaden Bogle heads away, but it will only reach a Wolves player. Ziegler can't close it down quickly enough. And here's Unai Lopez. Nice tackle by Suarez Garcia. Wide to Vinagre. And all drilled in. Tom Davies. Oh, can't get rid of it. Cannon back off Rebic. That was dangerous. Couldn't quite win that with Sabi either. And it'll drop here back to Ante Rebic, who could shoot. No, Getrelda does well. Unai Lopez wins it back off him. Win that header, please. Well up. Tom Davies away. Really under some pressure here in this first half from Wolves. Got themselves the 1-0 lead. And at the minute, I can't get the ball out of my half trying to get back up the other end. So if they win this, Wolves, then that's our chances of finishing any higher than 8th done and dusted. Albeit 8th is a stupendously good first season in the Premier League. Suarez Garcia around the corner to Tom Davies. There's Sabi. We use the left back first, or Oscar Hill. Then the left back. Then look for Uno. Inside to Oscar Hill again. Sabi is there loitering. Always backing away. Around the corner to Tom Davies. Bit of space for this shot. Ooh, and he struck it very well indeed. But Jack Stevens will keep that in, and it'll be 1-0 to Wolves at half time. Adama. Well, that's a heavy touch, but if anyone's going to have the pace on the pitch to get to it, it's going to be Adama Traore. Unai Lopez through the gap to Rebic. Kicked off by Getrelda, but Adama wins it back. And now he's going to accelerate away and draw a good save out of Angus Gunn. Still the ball is alive though. Jota back to Adama again. Around the corner to Unai Lopez. Adama to Diogo Jota, and we poke it away. Garcia's not got the physicality though to deal with Gibbs White, and still we're in trouble. That was actually probably on its way in if Gunn didn't intervene, but thankfully he did. We'll stay just 1-0 down for now, but again, I'm not playing very good football here at Molineux, and it's costing us any chance of finishing higher in the league this season at present. Ziegler forward there to Sabi. Here's Suarez Garcia, and Sabi again. Looking for Suarez Garcia. That's a lovely ball. And the finish, maybe, yes. We're level. We came back from behind against Southampton. We've come back from behind against Wolves. Only this time, we've got more time to try and get ourselves a goal to go in front. It's a lovely ball through. The partnership between the two of them is extremely evident. Suarez's 12th goal of the season. 12th goal of the Premier League season, at the very least. Javier Morales is chomping at the bit to get the chance to start ahead of Jean-Michel Suarez Garcia, but the effectiveness that Suarez Garcia has on the pitch is evident, and that's the reason why he still gets to start ahead of our Portuguese prodigy. He may even get the chance. That's why Suarez Garcia is in the team. 2 goals in 3 minutes. We've turned it around against Wolves. We might yet be finishing higher than 8th. Davies. Across to Jaden Bogle. Bit of a heavy touch, but we'll still get it under control and lay in Gerzic, who's racing away now. You won't catch him, that's for sure. Can we find anyone in the middle? No, is the answer. Uno will have the pace to keep that in. Oh, goodbye. Oh, corner only. Wow. Uno absolutely destroyed the defender there. Can he get himself an assist from the corner? Maybe. Oh, that was a long way wide. Jack Stevens got to it first, though, so it will be another corner. Whip it towards the near post again. Suarez Garcia underneath it. He's not going to be winning any headers. Here's Gerzic to try and whip it from the edge. Oh, drawing a good save out of Suarez. Out of Rui Patricio even. Vinagre can only hook it away for a throw-in rather than stop us from getting any sort of set piece. Suarez Garcia in there to Tom Davies. This is Elliot Lee. He's got great long shots. He's deflected and the keeper's fooled by it. Cambridge 3, Wolves 1. We're certainly getting 3 points now. That was really unlucky for the goalkeeper. Elliot Lee's touch was heavy, but the shot deflected right into the corner. We're going to get a shot from behind the goal, shot from right behind the ball. He's headed towards the keeper. It takes a deflection. Oh, it takes 2 deflections. That's why he didn't get to it. That's so unlucky for the goalkeeper. Will it go down as Elliot Lee's goal? It will. 3-1. Game over. 3 points. Forward across there to Savi. Into Suarez Garcia. There's Gerzic. Shot blocked. Cleared away. A fourth would flatter us, really. Wolves have been the better team in this game. I don't have any qualms in saying that whatsoever. They have been the better side. Elliot Lee probably give away a foul there and has. His technicals, Elliot Lee, are very, very impressive now. And there have been some calls in the comment section to start him above Oscar Hill, which I am contemplating doing. But he really needs to improve in his physicality, Elliot Lee. He's still got quite low agility and balance, and his strength is still quite low, and his stamina is still quite low. It's a real shame because, technically, he's one of the best players I've got in the squad. But for that role alongside Tom Davies, I do need someone that has the physicality to be able to tackle the Premier League head-on. Oscar Hill has that. Elliot Lee does not, unfortunately. Time to head to the final game of the season. And we might yet, if things go our way with other results, be finishing higher than 8th. Oh, but we might yet be finishing lower than 8th as well. We won't be finishing any lower than 9th, though, because Arsenal can only get to 56 points. So it's 7th, maybe 6th, if results go our way. If results go our way, we could finish 6th. It's going to be 6th, 7th, or 8th in the Premier League this season. And on the final day, our game against Spurs will decide the title one way or another. Quickly check Southampton. They're down now as well. We practically doomed Southampton. We could practically gift Tottenham Hotspur the championship if the result goes the way that they want it to. Or we could help Chelsea win the league. You know which one I'd rather do. Tottenham's starting lineup. Hugo Lloris in goal. Alexander-Arnold at 89 rated at right back. Kabako, Sanchez and Fernandes. Nacho Fernandes at left back. Our former Harry Wilson in their midfield with Kevin De Bruyne and Pablo Fornals. Dele Alli, Kane and Son as the front three. That's a very strong team. They're a very strong side, they're a very strong club. But are they going to win the league? They have to beat me and hope that Chelsea lose. We'll wait and see what happens. The Premier League title is going to be decided on the final day. And we're going to be involved in it. Forward to Harry Wilson. Don't you dare, boy. Harry Wilson runs straight into Oscar Hill. Quickly there to Sabi. See the run by Ziegler. We'll look for Sabi. It's a great interception by Kabako. Fornals to Dele Alli. And inside there to Harry Wilson. Out wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. I imagine in their very narrow formation that Trent and the left-back Nacho will be getting a long way forward throughout the game. Will be a big test of their stamina and the defensive abilities of their teammates and covering abilities of their teammates. But Uno will look for Sabi here and, not find him. Oscar Hill arrives at pace and as such can't get the ball under control. Harry Kane will go across to Dele Alli. It's gone back to Kane and there is an option there for Harry Wilson and he's looked for him. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold, in fact, that's played in. And the cross is decent and Son heads over the bar. Out wide there to Penny. Uno's on his bike. We'll play it long for him to run onto. Trent Alexander-Arnold will be quick enough to stay with me and good enough defensively to take the ball off me as well. It's annoying. Harry Wilson to Kevin De Bruyne. Back to Harry Wilson to Trent again. He does love to get forward, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he has done so numerous times already and he's trying to do so again, but Uno takes it off him. That will drop for Suarez Garcia. We'll turn and get that to Oscar Hill and look for Uno. Quickly get that to Sabi. And then there's space here for Ziegler. And he's got the finishing stats to really cause some problems here. But Lloris makes a good save. He's only 80 rated now, Hugo Lloris. They have an old Hugo Lloris and an old Keylor Navas in their squad. Both at 80 rated in this 5th season. And neither really cut out for the level that Tottenham are playing at. But they're doing the business so far. Heung-min Son racing away. Fornals forward looking for Nacho on the overlap. Again, Fornals to Nacho for a second time. Back to Pablo Fornals. Side to Dele Alli. There's Son. Space for the shot. Deadly with it. Heung-min Son gives Tottenham the lead. Only a couple of minutes from half-time and a couple of minutes from seeing if that goal at this stage, as we approach half-time, is enough to give Tottenham the title. I think the goal difference between them and Chelsea was pretty tight. I think there was only a couple of goals in it. So a win for them here, which is what they need, and a defeat for Chelsea, which is what they need, might genuinely open up the possibility of them winning the league here, Tottenham. They won the league on the past 2 seasons, I believe. And Chelsea are drawing 1-1 with Leicester. So as things stand at half-time, Tottenham are doing their bit for them to win the title, but Chelsea are also doing their bit for them to win the title. If Tottenham are to win the league this year, they need Leicester to outscore Chelsea. As things stand, Chelsea are winning the league by a point. Here's Dele Alli on the counter. Flattened by Oscar Hill. That's the sort of physicality that I don't get with Elliot Lee. Kevin De Bruyne into the box, headed away by Getrauda. Kabako down to De Bruyne, to Harry Wilson, into Kane, turns well. Oh, Oscar Hill does brilliantly, and Harry Kane still scores. 2-0 Tottenham. I'm not going to be getting anything from this game, that's for sure. But will Tottenham win the league, though? We still don't know. Suzuki, Dele, Suzuki. Back to Fornals, forward to Dele again. Right here to Nacho. Oh, Dennis Hadabola runs up and tries to run off with it, but can't. Harry Wilson given away to Oscar Hill. Hadabola forward there to Javier Morales, who's off the bench here to try and have an impact. Oh, it's a poor pass looking for Matt Penny, though, and forced him a long way wide. We'll look for Morales again and find him. And on the way, all the way on the far side was a teammate, Dennis Hadabola, but Morales equalises. Oh, Spurs! I tell you what, if Chelsea lose to Leicester and Tottenham have thrown away a 2-0 lead in the last 10 minutes, a 2-0 lead that may well have given them the Premier League title, then they'll be fuming. It would be a very Spursy things to happen. Cool. I almost want Leicester to have beaten Chelsea now, so that this result means that Tottenham don't win the league. De Bruyne to Kane. Getrauda intercepts. Back there to Elliot Lee. Space for Uno. Javier Morales is available in the middle, as is Sabi. Here's Morales. Back there to Hill. Sabi. Oh, there's the final whistle. I thought for a moment we might have been building to beat Tottenham. A 2-2 draw against Spurs away from home, and you can tell by the lack of celebrations by the Tottenham fans that they certainly have not won the league. Chelsea draw 2-2 with Leicester, so even if Tottenham had held on to their 2-0 lead, they would have finished second anyway. We draw with Tottenham 2-2, which means we finish a point behind Wolves. But an 8th placed finish in our first Premier League season is very good indeed. I'm extremely happy with that. Youth player wants out. Rob Gray wants to leave apparently. With 147 million. Thanks then. Cheers then. That'll do. Right, I'm going to go in advance to the end of the season, and then we shall have a season roundup. But we finish 8th in our debut Premier League season. That is superb. Okay, so it's the end of the season, and let's have a roundup and see how everyone did at the competitions we're involved in, the bigger competitions around Europe. Chelsea won the league by 3 points. They drew on the final day. Spurs drew on the final day, obviously. Everton finishing 3rd by a point. Manchester United finished 4th by a point. Brighton in the Europa League next year. Manchester City only 6th. Wolves 7th. Ourselves 8th. Arsenal recovered to 10th. Liverpool 13th. Southampton, Forest and Huddersfield relegated, unfortunately for them. In the FA Cup, I think, considering we did so well in the league this year, I'm going to concentrate on the Cups quite heavily next year and try and go for a domestic cup. Liverpool won 4-0 against West Ham in the FA Cup final. Congratulations to them. They may have finished 13th, but at least they won one cup competition. Chelsea won on penalties against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. Liverpool might well have won both domestic cup competitions in Europe. Maybe that had an effect on their league position, although I'm pretty sure a club the size of Liverpool with a a squad the depth of Liverpool's should have been able to cope. Arsenal went all the way in the Champions League. Maybe that had a detrimental effect on their Premier League campaign. We're not sure. 2-1 to Atletico Madrid. And then in the Europa League, it was AC Milan who won 2-1 against Manchester City. Maybe that had a detrimental effect on their Premier League campaign, which is why they finished in 6th. It's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell. The Copa America is ongoing as things stand right now. But we'll have a look at the other top leagues around Europe, as well as what else happened in England, of course. Bournemouth and Burnley will join us in the Premier League next season, as well as one of Stoke, Blackburn, Middlesbrough and Birmingham. Getting relegated are Millwall, Preston and Portsmouth. League One going up. Leeds win the league with 114 points. Wow. Barnsley in second also get promoted. Then one of Peterborough, Bradford, Charlton or Scunthorpe via the playoffs. Relegated back down to League Two are Blackpool, Shrewsbury, Northampton and Accrington. And getting promoted are Oldham, also hitting the 100-point barrier, Notts County and Gillingham. And then one of MK Dons, Rochdale, Doncaster or Grimsby will go up into League One. Morecambe and Newport would have been relegated were there the conference on the game. Paris Saint-Germain win in France. No surprises there. In the Bundesliga, Dortmund pip Bayern by a point. Congratulations to them. Maybe that's a sign of things to come in the Achieve and Leave. I certainly hope so. Juventus win in Italy. No shocks there. In La Liga, it's Barcelona by a point from Valencia. Then Real on 79 and Atletico on 71. Congratulations, Valencia, for a tremendous season. That's you won more games than Barcelona. It's just those 8 defeats that means they don't win the league. Perhaps Valencia might have gone all the way if one game was slightly different. In the player stats rankings, it's Anthony Martial that gets the golden boot. Sabi, 2 golden boots in a row, 1 in League One, 1 in the Championship, but not to be in the Premier League, although he did get 16 in 31 games. If he had played the full season and hadn't gotten injured, then maybe the golden boot might have been his. Suarez Garcia is up there in 11th as well with 13, although actually that's joint 7th, because there was a number of players on 13 goals. Any other Cambridge United players in the top 25? There are not. Assist-wise, Sabi with 10, Suarez Garcia and Uno with 9. Davies with 6. A good season for him. Good debut season for him. Clean sheets, Kepa with 14. Pickford there with 12 as well. Gunn with 9. An okay season for Gunn. I'm pleased enough with his contribution to the side. We certainly didn't intend on buying him at the beginning of the window. We were going to go for Dean Henderson. I balls that up, but we signed Gunn instead, and he's been a decent player for us, so I'm relatively happy enough with that. With regards to board objectives this season, youth development-wise, they wanted me to, again, sign 4 players, 1 in each position. Again, I forgot to sign a goalkeeper this year. My bad. But we're not too fussed about those youth development goals. As I mentioned earlier on in the episode, and I'll mention it again now. I may have cut the highlight, and I'll mention it in tomorrow's episode 1 of Season 6 as well. At this stage, I'm looking to lean away from my youth scouts and all of the youth signings. I'm going to concentrate on the players that I've already got. Because it's going to get to the point where I've just got so many youth players, I can't train them all or send some out on loan. I just can't cope with the amount of players I'm going to have. So probably for Season 6, not going to send youth scouts out at all. And then Season 7, we'll reassess. Brand exposure-wise, we were able to do that eventually. Thank you. After the 3rd season, we were able to do that. Financial, nothing. Domestic success, avoid relegation. Yeah, we did that. FA Cup, disappointed. But long-term goal, we've achieved that in the 1st season by finishing a mid-table. I'll be very intrigued to see what the objectives are next season. I'm presuming it's going to be get a European spot, but we'll have to wait and see. With regards to our players then, how did they grow this year? Angus Gunn up 1, reactions up 2, although his overall rating going up 1 is primarily due to his kicking going up 14 for Christ knows what reason. Positioning up 1 to 71, and that's his least impressive stat, and the one that I would most like him to improve upon. I may consider replacing Angus Gunn next season again and improving on him. We'll have to wait and see what sort of budget we get. Mitov will still be my backup. Green is up 4. Out on loan, of course, at Hertha Berlin this year. His kicking's really, really high as well, and positioning really low. Why that is with goalkeepers, I've no idea on FIFA. The kicking grows tremendously, and the positioning is always really low. Especially with regens. No idea why. Jaden Bogle up 3 to 78. I'm happy for him to continue on as my starting right back. Although I may look to sell Archie Harrison now and bring in a second wing back. But I might, depending on my budget, again, consider signing a first team right back and Jayden Bogle becoming my backup and Bradley Halliday just falling into the back end of the club. Greg Taylor is retired. Oh no! I meant to play Greg Taylor in the penultimate home game or the final home game of the season and I forgot. Greggy T, I wanted to give you a send-off and I got so consumed with the idea of finishing above Wolves that I forgot to play him. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Greg Taylor retires at the end of the season. All of his stats are dropping, but he didn't lose one overall, and he was tremendous for us in the first 3 seasons. A really, really good player for us here at Cambridge United. Disappointed to see him leave. I wanted to try and keep him here as long as possible, but 33, he's hanging up his boots. Jack Watmore is another centre-back here at the club that's 75 rated now, up 2. He's currently unhappy, I believe, with his... Well, he's content, apparently, with his level of first-team football. He, Perella and Getrauda will be my 3 centre-backs as we head into Season 6. I will look for a new centre-back. The quality of that centre-back is unsure. I love Getrauda, but a number of you seem to be adamant that I need to improve upon him for my starting 11. So I may do that. I may do that, but we have 3 main centre-backs at the club. Victor Perella's up 2 to 80 now. Continues to grow our scout future star from Season 1, of course. Getrauda's up 1 to 73 as well. Mancini is up 4 to 75. I have thus ceased his training. Technically, he's very good. Physically, he still could do with improving, but there's not really much I can do about his physical training other than sprint speed and strength. I can't train anything else, so the rest is just down to the game, although he is growing in those other areas. So let's hope that continues. Bruce Wood was a youth player I had, and he was like, I'm going to leave if you don't sign me, so subsequently I've signed him. I'll send him out on loan for next season. Matt Penny, 74 rated. I think it might well be time to see Matt Penny leave. I love him, and he's great, but I think I'm on board with you guys now at 25. He's got potential of 76. With Mancini now being 75, I really can't justify starting Penny ahead of Mancini. So I think it's going to be a case of adding Matt Penny to the transfer list and buying a new left back. So as things stand, I think I'm going to be signing a new left back and a new right back next season. Rob Gray, another player that said he was going to leave if I didn't call him up, so I have done. 63 rated currently. Let's remove him from the low list. What's his status? An exciting prospect. Wood's status is low listed, and his has potential to be special. So very keen on. Actually, I won't loan him then if he's has potential to be special, because that might have a negative effect on his potential. We will do that with Rob Gray though, because his potential was like mid-80s, so I'm not too bothered about that. Oscar Hill up 2 to 76 this year. Physically great, other than the agility and balance. Elsewhere, very, very good indeed. Technically, brilliant in the tackle. Ball control is 89, which is great, but you can see there's a number of yellow and orange stats there. I want his passing to improve, but at the minute, he is my midfield enforcer, and I'm leaning towards continuing to start him ahead of Elliot Lee at this stage. Maybe once we reach Europe, I might have to think about replacing him, but for now, he's okay. In my opinion, I'm happy to leave him in the starting lineup alongside Tom Davies. I'd rather concentrate on wing-back as we head into the new season. Suarez Garcia is superb at Cam. The partnership he has with Sabi is brilliant. 14 goals and 9 assists this season. Even though Javier Morales is pushing for a first-team spot, I think Suarez Garcia is going to continue to start in the middle for the considerable future, at least for the most part of Season 6. Maybe then Javier Morales might be fit enough or in a position to start at Cam ahead of him. Isaac Morris is up 3 this season. His physicals don't look that good. Technically, he is good. Technically, he is very good, but I need those physicals to be better. Toby Edwards, he's in fact probably better physically than Isaac Morris, and technically he's getting there. He's getting there technically, so there's still plenty of improvement to be done, but he is showing good promise. Amu is leaving us at the end of the season, so not worried about him. Clucci, I'm quite happy to send him back out on loan or sell him. What is your potential? Oh, he's... what? Joining Spal when the transfer window opens. Well... that's on loan. That's on loan. It's okay. Don't panic. It's a loan deal. Elliot Lee up 3 to 78. Physically, I need more. Desperate for more from Elliot Lee because technically 95 short passing, 94 stand tackle, 90 dribbling, 93 long shots, and mid-80s for ball control and early 80s for long passing. He is technically very good, but those physicals kill him off in game. He's not quite good enough yet, but he's not far away. I will give you that. He's not far away. If he continues to grow like that physically next season, then we will see him starting probably ahead of Oscar Hill in Season 7 or maybe at some point in Season 6. Patrick Turner is another youngster that I had to call up. Has potential to be special, so I won't loan list him. He's got 5-star skills, actually, Turner. I am training him heavily now. Bauman is hopefully going to leave us and go out on loan. I believe that's already agreed. Yes, he's going to Fiorentina on loan next season. So hopefully he can grow quite well whilst out there. Tom Davis is up 1 to 84. He's been great for us this year. I especially love the way that his stand tackle has grown, because he's now a brilliant all-round midfielder. Good at cam, good at centre mid, and good at CDM as well. A brilliant purchase for us. Absolutely superb purchase for us, actually, with the way that those specific stats have grown. Very pleased with him. 1 goal, 7 assists in all comps. Would like a little bit more from him in on-field impact next season, but maybe with those improved stats we might get that. Lewis Baker, he's currently out on loan. 5-star, 5-star, still training him as well, or will continue to do so when he gets back, up 6 this year to 70. Uno, I don't know what to do. Ademola Lookman is coming in to start on the left-hand side. There have been some calls for Uno to stay and for Dennis Adebola to be sent out on loan. And for Uno to stay as my backup left mid. I would be on board with that if I have the budget to improve elsewhere in the team as I want to. At the minute, I'm just looking at improving in defence. Left back, centre back, right back. Midfield and forward wise, I'm very, very happy with the squad, especially with Ademola Lookman coming in. Javier Morales at Cam, would really like to see more from him with regards his in-game ability, in-game impact. Despite having 84 ball control and 87 dribbling, he does feel a little bit odd in possession. I could do with his balance being slightly higher. His passing definitely needs improving as well, but it is growing. So there's plenty of promise there for him next season. He is, of course, our highest potential youngster with potential of 92 to 94. So he will get there. It's just a matter of time. Herbert Ziegler, starting on the right-hand side for me at 19 years of age, will continue to do so next season on the right-hand side, at least for the first 6 months. We'll then reevaluate in January and see if we might want to do something with regards to bringing someone in. Andrea Rizzo, really not sure what to do with him. I don't think I'm going to do anything other than send him out on loan next season. Sabby, 77 rated, acceleration's up 2 to 98. That agility and balance are unreal. Genuinely, his dribbling and movement in game feels like Team of the Year Mbappe from FUT. It's that good. His ball control is 87. His dribbling is only 78, but it feels incredible. His finishing is only 74. To have technical stats that low, but still have that sort of impact in game, there's no reason whatsoever to get rid of Emmanuel Sabby or for his first team spot to be at risk from someone like Robin Gerzic, who's 3-star, 3-star. He's higher rated now. He too has great physical stats. The acceleration, the sprint speed, the balance, the dribbling, and the finishing to go along with it at the minute isn't there. But the dribbling's 99, and the volleys are 85, and the short passing's 84, and the ball control's 84 as well, up 3. That's without training as well from Gerzic. He's the Zlatan Ibrahimovic region. I'm set for strikers because Monnier, 75 rated now, up 5. I've stopped training him, but he does look like he's good enough already to play a bit part role. Physically, that's okay. Strength is getting there. Stamina is getting there. Acceleration and sprint speed are growing. Sprint speed with a little bit of help, but acceleration growing +3 on its own is a very, very good sign. And technically, he's looking really good. finishing 78, dribbling 87, ball control 89, 99 long shots. Hello. 85 short pass, 84 shot power, 92 volleys. Very, very good. Promising striker there. Dennis Adebola, growing nicely. What's his potential? If it's an exciting prospect. At present, I will add him to the loan list and go for Uno as my backup, with Ademola as my starting, and Adebola out on loan for left-sided midfielders. With Ziegler on the right. And to be fair, I don't actually know. I've got Isaac Morris as my backup as well, don't I? So yeah, at present, I'm looking for defenders, I think, for season 6, episode 1 or episode 2. I'll record episode 1, and then we shall reiterate my transfer plans at the beginning of episode 1 of season 6, because obviously not everyone will get to the end of this video because it's going to be quite long. The season finales do tend to be, but that's the situation right now with the squad. The youth players that I've got left in the youth academy are as follows. Elliot Bailey at centre-back, 67 rated currently. I don't know if he's good enough to make the step up yet. I might look for someone slightly older at centre-back to then sell on and bring Elliot Bailey in as an understudy later on. Or I could sign someone that's great and then let Jack Watmore go when Elliot Bailey steps up. One of those two will happen. We do still have 2 other centre-backs here. 6 foot Taylor Mason doesn't look too good yet technically at all, but there's still room for growth, and physically he's doing okay. Henriksen, 66 rated, so he's not far off Elliot Bailey, although he's only 5'11". And he's getting there technically, and I am now training him, so we'll wait and see on that front. Colin Cooper's growing nicely, 91 to 94, his potential, which is very promising indeed. Could do with the finishing growing, but I am training him. Will Harrison, 61 rated currently, 81 to 94 potential, still very unsure about him. And Hugh Wilson is one I've literally just called up prior to starting this end of season squad roundup situation, and I'm not sure about him either. It's going to take a few months before we really figure out what his deal is. But that's the end of season 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Do drop the video a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on episode 1 of season 6 tomorrow. That will probably come out at midday rather than 4 PM, and I'll switch round the Achieve and Leave episodes to come out a little bit later so that I have enough time to get your feedback on episode 1 to then record episode 2 for time on Monday, because real life things are going on, and obviously I need to make sure that I can record it to keep up the schedule. So that's that. There was an Achieve and Leave episode uploaded earlier on today, so do check the channel page for that if you missed it. But for now, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 6, or season 6 even, and episode 1.